Ready or not, here we come with a new episode. Now I'm kind of disappointed I didn't save that for the Instagram caption.
It's okay.
But
Can still do it.
Yeah, I mean,
um
yeah,
now yeah,
There's
the
no
Instagram
rules.
caption will say Ready or Not 2, Here We Come, because that's just the name of the movie. I wonder what we're talking about tonight.
could be anything.
Could be anything. Just
We're
look at
Truth
talking
or
about the
dare.
new Daily Wire movie with Jonathan Majors.
Oh, yeah, yeah. King Dynasty.
Yeah.
Did you guys see
He
that?
saw he fell through a window.
Yeah, fell through
not
a window of
surprised.
time. Oh my gosh. And they all walked out, all the union guys. I saw the only thing I saw was the quote the Daily Wire gave, which was, "We don't negotiate with communists."
Was that in response to like journalist questions? Is that what that was?
I
I
think
saw
that
that
was in
quote.
response to somebody asking about all the union guys walking out, and they're like, "We don't negotiate with communists."
It's it's about on par for what I'd expect from the Daily Wire.
It's, but yeah,
All right,
we're not
dude, I
talking
need you
about
to help me
that.
stop
No, we're
Kang.
not. We're talking about Satanists.
Hell yeah. Well,
Yeah.
actually, is it Satan? I mean, it's like a devil. It's like a
Yeah,
demon.
but
It's probably
they
not
they
devil.
they say Hail Satan a lot, so
That's
They
true.
do.
close enough, close
Hail
enough.
Satan.
Hail
Hail
Satan.
Saint Nick.
Hail Satan.
No, that's for Violent Night 2, which we're doing this fall.
That's true. They are doing Violent Night. Is David Harbour coming back?
They
I
have to.
assume so.
I would assume. I would hope
You
so.
can't do a
You can't do
sequel
another one without.
about
Yeah,
Santa Claus like that.
that'd be like doing The Beekeeper 2 without Jason Statham.
Yeah, no.
They are doing Beekeeper 2, right?
I
They
think
are.
so, right?
Yeah. I think it's Timo I can't pronounce his last, or I don't remember his last name,
Right.
but he did Nobody too.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Timo Tahanto or something like that.
Hmm.
Sure.
Who knows? We'll
But
find out
yeah, I
when we
believe they
watch it.
are. I only
Well,
remember because he seems to be doing every sequel to like action movies. It's just his specialty.
well, you couldn't do Nobody 2 without Bob Odenkirk. You couldn't do Beekeeper 2 without Jason Statham, and you can't do Ready or Not 2, Here I Come without Samara Weaving.
True.
It's true.
Nice. That was good.
So,
Yeah, that's good.
That was a good segue.
Well done.
thank you, boys. I will truly take in that compliment because I get so few of them on the pod. So what'd you think?
It was fun. I like that it picked up right after. It was very open-ended after the first one. Like, all right, how's she gonna get out of this? The lawyer in me, or the soon-to-be lawyer in me, was like, all right, what are the ramifications here, and how's she gonna get out of this shit? And then they do away with that completely and just throw her back into another game, and I love it. That's great.
They do introduce a loophole though.
They
There's
do.
a loophole.
Yeah, there are some
There's a
loopholes,
Yes,
legal
but
but
loophole.
but
Max, we don't need the lawyer in you because we have the lawyer in Elijah Wood
that's
That's true.
so true. Yeah, he has
working on
the
behalf
bad
of
book.
Mr.
I don't
LaBelle.
know.
He's kind
Yeah.
of like one of those estate like lawyers. He's like,
Yeah, that's
this
the
is
vibe
the
I got
way
too.
Hmm.
that it's gonna go.
Mr. LaBelle will be very displeased.
He will be.
But yeah, no, I follow Max's sentiments. I I don't think it's as novel as the first, but it's still a fun time. It
Yeah.
reminded me a bit of and obviously the first is really comedic too, but Evil Dead, it kind of
Mm.
takes place very soon after. It's like a different group of people, but it's like they're just back there. Or Halloween too. And there's lots of like horror movies that like to do this. And I think it's a great plot device. It's like, how do you capture that again? Well, it's by not letting it actually end. If you're going to do a sequel, you can do that. Cliffhangers, bad. But if you're greenlit for a sequel, you can do that. Um, and I think it's fun. I mean, it's like the same premise. It's just bloodier. You get some more fun cameos. Um, but it's a
Not
similar
even
thing.
cameos, full on supporting roles.
That's true. That's true. David Cronenberg was kind of like a cameo
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I
he
will
just
count that as a
dies and
cameo.
everything.
Even though he gets like fifth billing for the movie.
That was really
Yeah.
funny to me. I was like, is he going to be in this for real or is this like a Jason
And then
X?
as soon as we finish the opening credits, we cut to his first and only scene. Yeah, I'll back all of that up. I watched the first one for the first time Monday, and then immediately Tuesday morning went to see the second one.
And they're fun. They're not like horror movies like scary.
Yeah, I definitely think the first one had more horror elements to it than the second one. The second one was
That's
much
true.
more of like an action comedy.
Also, why I got the Evil Dead vibe. I don't know that if you've watched those films, but Evil Dead 1 is like a straight horror movie. Evil Dead 2 is like the same thing, but the comedic version. And it doesn't take place on the same night, but it's like I gotta watch it again and see. There's just a bunch of other people there. I don't know that it really goes into detail
Yeah.
about why. It's like Bruce Campbell's there, but he kind of forgot that the neophyte, I can't remember what they're called. The Deadites, that's a complicated name.
Sam Raimi's really digging deep with that one.
He's really digging deep. But again, it's like a similar thing where the first one is more scary. The second one is like full on just embracing the comedic value of it.
I think what does that a lot for this one is the addition of Catherine Newton. She's
Yeah, it was
really
very good.
thrown in as like not comedic relief, but a comedic partner. And it's like Faith is a character that Grace, which by the way, you can't do away your shitty Irish
Faith
Catholic
and
character names
Grace.
just by having a joke about how they're Irish Catholic names. That doesn't make up for it. I digress. Faith is a character that Grace needed in the first one. Like having Adam Brody's character in the first film, uh, kind of, and I loved that turn from Adam Brody. I thought he was great in the first movie. Um, but having him in that movie where he's sort of this quasi double agent helping both sides, not really taking part in the game, but also being in the game. Like we
Well,
don't know what
everyone's
side
in
he's
the
on.
game if they're in the family.
Right. But willing participants and giving 10-second head starts and whatnot. Um, but that kind of character isn't really here as part of that side of the game in the second movie. But what we do get is Catherine Newton's character, Faith, who is more or less thrust into the position of bewilderment that Grace was in at the beginning of the first movie. And Grace here is sort of stepping up in her side of the game, for lack of a better phrase, where she can take the lead in trying to survive because she's already done it once, literally hours earlier. I mean, it's 7 years for us or one day for me, but it's hours for the character.
Yeah.
And introducing Faith in this way brings back some sort of thematic elements that we get in the first one, but it's fresh because we're not seeing it through Grace's eyes all over again.
Yeah, it's
It's
kind of a
funny to have
necessary thing.
this like estranged sisters dynamic. They have good chemistry. They play it really, really well.
Hmm.
And I know you're not a horror aficionado, but it is a criticism of some things like Halloween 2, where a lot of people enjoy it. A lot of people think it's a good movie, but the only criticism says it's kind of the same thing. And it's still following Laurie Strode, and there's not really another person to like torment. She's already experienced, so the horror element is mitigated in a way. Sam Raimi figured out like, oh, I'm just going to use Bruce Campbell again. What I'm going to do is not make it scary, make it ridiculous. And then he made Army of Darkness, and he's like, I'm going to amp it up to 20. So I'm curious if they do that, like, again, like it does follow a Sam Raimi-esque like ridiculousness to it. It has its own like motifs and things. Obviously, blood splatters everywhere. Um, as opposed to like Sam Raimi, skeletons, ghouls like popping up. But it does feel like
which we just
to
saw in Send Help.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, which I mean, how would you only Sam Raimi could find a way to make that happen in a movie
Twice.
like that.
Happens
Twice.
twice.
Oh yeah, that's true. But yeah, I enjoy that they sort of stuck with the premise, which I think was popular. I mean, that's a lot of why people love the movie, and added like a little dynamic to it. So it's not the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And
If it
Catherine
had been,
Newton is like famous. Sorry, but I was
go
just gonna
ahead.
say Catherine Newton is like famous for doing really well with comedy horror stuff. So I think she's a great addition to making a more lighthearted like addition. Even though I think the first is pretty ridiculous, but this one's like up the ante.
Was Catherine Newton in that like 80s comedy horror film that we did a couple years ago?
Oh, Totally
And
Killer. No, that was Kiernan
no.
Shipka. She
Okay.
was in
No.
one of my favorites, Freaky. Vince Vaughn and Catherine Newton, where Vince Vaughn is like a serial killer,
Oh, that's
and Cat.
like a rehashing of that Rob Schneider, Rachel McAdams movie.
Yeah, but that one sucks. This one is really, really good.
The hot chick.
You get Vince Vaughn like walking around like a pretty girl. And then you get Catherine Newton playing this like cold-hearted sociopathic serial killer. It's great. Highly recommend it. Definitely watch it if you like
It's on my
comedy
watch
horror
list.
stuff. I really enjoyed it. And she's done plenty of other things. I'm blanking on what exactly, but she's been in a lot of.
She did Lisa
Ant-Man
Frankenstein last
Quantumania.
year.
She was an Ant-Man, yeah.
She was
But
in
I'm more familiar
Quantumania.
with horror stuff.
She's like the horror equivalent to um God, what's her name? Who's doing like literally every franchise. Same generation. She's up and coming that I'm blanking on her name.
Um,
What movie? Name a movie.
She's in the new Scooby-Doo. She's in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
got nothing.
I
But I
don't
was gonna
know.
say
What's her name?
Abigail's another one.
This is embarrassing.
I don't know who you're talking about though.
It's McKenna Grace.
Oh, he
Oh,
is in
right,
everything right
yes.
now.
I'm sort of getting
Friday.
like McKenna Grace is in every franchise, but Catherine Newton is in like a lot of horror comedy movies.
Yeah, what's it? McKenna Grace is kind of like the more blockbustery horror movies, I would
Like
say.
Catherine Newton is McKenna Grace's Wario.
I don't even know. That doesn't
Well, we could do the
McKenna
Super
Grace
Mario
is kind of
Galaxy movie
like
next week and find out.
she's kind of like an old like Sarah Michelle Gellar, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Speaking of
Cat.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, that's true. But
Speaking of
I
Ready or
guess that's
Not
probably
2,
why they
here I
cast
come.
her.
Yeah, what did you
And
think
yeah,
of
she's in this.
some of the hunters in this movie? I'm personally partial to Nestor Carbonell just because of the Dark Knight trilogy and because of Lost. I'm a huge fan of his. When he's got the sniper rifle at like the beginning of the second act, and he's kind of just shouting and freaking out about his sniper rifle and the magazine falling out and trying to end this game early. And then the way he goes out with the katana through the throat,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty brutal.
which by the
But
way,
also
I
the
we'll get
industrial
to favorite
washing
kill later, but that's
machine.
an early
The
contender.
industrial washing machine
Industrial
was pretty
washing machine
damn
was pretty good.
that was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Nestor Car Carbonell, is that his
Yeah,
last name?
Carbonell.
I'm familiar with him from Psych. which I think Max is
Yes.
too.
Yes.
He plays Declan.
Yep.
Not our
Not
Declan,
our
but
Declan. Different Declan.
different Declan. Really cool. But yeah, it's really
Speaking
fun.
speaking of Irish Catholic names,
There you go.
It's true.
but yeah, what did you guys think of the hunters in this cast of hunters versus the previous?
I think it's fun. I mean, they up
Yeah.
the star power, obviously,
Yeah.
by getting a little bit more known people.
Hmm.
And a lot of people were really interested in being part of it, especially people in like the horror field, like Sarah Michelle Gellar. Um, so I think that helped a little bit. But yeah, I mean, they're great. I don't want to compare them because I think that both the movies have great performances and they do what is needed. Again, these are not Oscar worthy
Oh,
like
this is
stuff.
you don't go looking for high art with this.
No,
No,
but I
it's
like
meant to
that
be a
they
little
split
more
them up.
ridiculous.
They didn't all get to go out at once, onto the estate and like go after. It wasn't the exact same. Like there were some changes to the
Yeah,
rules.
well,
There were
because they're
just some
dealing with
small
more
things that
families.
like made it feel fresh, at least. They
Yeah.
could have made it the exact same thing and they didn't. So
Also
that's nice.
setting most of the movie during the day
Yeah.
and then sort of quickly advancing through the survive the night.
2:31 p.m.
And then she had to make it to dawn,
Hmm.
which is like 16 hours.
It's a long time.
It's a little rough.
Yeah, that sucks.
Unfortunately, the other family members did not make it till dawn.
No.
Fucking explosions, man.
It was so
That was
funny.
awesome.
It reminded me of Suspiria. I don't know if you guys saw the Luca Guadagnino or Suspiria,
No, I
but
Just
at
never
the
got
just the
to the
end,
OG.
Luca version.
oh yeah, because I made you. Um, the end of it is essentially like, but the end
Go
is
on.
like just a bunch of people exploding in blood. It always
Classic
makes me
Luca.
laugh.
Luca wanted to do that in Challengers, but Amazon said no.
Yeah, it wouldn't have really fit the script, I don't think.
No. Besides, Josh O'Connor got to be blood splattered in Wake Up Dead Man, so it worked out okay for him.
That's true. But he doesn't get to explode, become blood.
Well, he is blood, just in a human person.
We're all blood, I guess. Quote
Sure.
by David Cronenberg.
Did anybody else get? I'm. This is either going to make a good point or I'm going to get laughed at here, but it's worth the risk. Anybody else get like John Wick high table vibes from this like
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
organization?
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
obviously.
Okay. Phew.
I think that may have been intentional at some point.
Go on.
Well, they're sort of like embracing the action comedy aspect. I'm sure it came up. You have this like magical high family that's made deal with. Obviously, they're not making deals with the devil in John Wick, but
Baba
like
Yaga.
this,
the devil.
these rules, these high families, things like that. It must have been partially thought about
Consequences.
consequences. They literally have that. Like it's not John Wick shooting them. It's just whatever his name, LeBall,
LaBelle,
LaBelle, Mr.
LaBelle,
LaBelle.
Mr. LaBelle.
who
But yeah,
is suddenly much larger in this movie in a little flash that he shows up than he was in the first movie. It's like
maybe he's a gent.
he's like he's Supreme Leader Snoke in The Force Awakens versus Last Jedi.
Yeah, but Snoke is like such a bitch, you know? He's just constantly annoying. This guy just shows up and he's like, "Hey, you won the game. Good job."
Give a little nod and then
Like
disappear.
he respects the rules. He
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 respects
appreciates
it.
it.
Hey,
He appreciates
game
it.
recognized game, right?
Just like
Game,
Literally.
Elijah
honestly.
Wood kind of gave those two sisters like a like a nod of
He
approval as they
didn't.
left. And it's like,
He
okay,
didn't
all
take a
right.
side.
No, we didn't.
I mean, he's always on the
He,
side of Mr. LaBelle, but
yeah, but he
that's
was like the neutral arbiter between all of the contestants.
which
Yeah,
again, estate lawyer,
Yeah.
which is the kind of law you're going to get into, right, Max?
No.
a state a
No.
state law is specifically for devils and
Yes,
demons.
Demons. Mr. LaBelle is a demon, not the devil.
that
Yeah,
is
that
true.
it depends on your religion, but there could be multiple devils.
Also true.
But yeah, I guess a demon in this. Either way, he's going to be working for the Lords of Hell, as every
That to look
lawyer
forward to.
does.
Um, I really thought, and I still have the Ghostbusters Afterlife letterbox page pulled up here, looking for McKenna Grace's name.
Hmm.
She's not in
Um,
the movie.
yeah, I know. That's why I'm getting Ready or Not 2 back up on my letterbox. Um, Sean Hatose, who plays Titus.
Yes, Dr. Abbott from The Pit.
Oh, I haven't
That's where
seen
people
that.
know him from. I haven't seen The Pit.
It's great.
I've seen
Very
clips.
dramatic.
That
I know
makes
Noah
Very
sense.
Wiley,
dramatic.
and that's it.
I know
Um,
it's like real time
it is. It's
like
like it's
stuff.
a 15-hour shift in an ER in Pittsburgh. And
It's like
so each episode
24, but for
it
medical
is.
stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Shout out Pittsburgh, great city.
Shout out Pittsburgh. Lots of Pittsburgh history, George. Lots of baseball mentioned.
What
So
about the Steelers?
actually I
Steelers got
don't think
Super
that the
Bowl?
Steelers have been mentioned once.
It's
So,
Steelers,
kind of
which is
crazy.
really funny.
Steelers got
Dude, I
Super
thought
Bowl?
they were pride of the city.
No, but it's a great show. He's in
All with the
it.
Bucks and
I
the
would
Pens.
there I did have one thought during this movie is did they come to him for like medical stuff because they trained so much for the pit. Like that's what all the cast talks about. So like I was
So
wondering if
when
he was
They're
everyone
talking
just
about
like,
explodes
well,
into
if anything
blood,
like, all
happens,
right,
can you
so
help out?
what tendon can you step on in Faith's arm to like make her do your bidding or something? And so like
This guy's Sherlock Holmes all of a
the
sudden.
the hand to hand between Titus and Faith was awesome. Watching
it's
that
pretty
fight
brutal.
scene, um, when Grace, and I'm cheating off of Letterboxd again, but when Grace and Francesca are fighting, and it's chopped up in the edit with Titus and Faith, some of the edits in there and some of the way that they were able to match body positioning in the cut from one fight to the other. Just a little filmmaking thing that just elevates the whole product. It looked really cool to see those two sequences come together like that. Plus,
Yeah.
brutal fucking fights.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
Did
I
not
like
I
hold
think
that
back.
though.
I think when you get a project like this that's already so bloody, like you've literally got an MCU style suit up when Grace puts on the dress at the hospital. Like you can't, that is such, it's not a crowd moment. Do not play it up in your movie like it's
No,
going to
I
be
loved it.
It
No,
is a
a
it's
crowd
crowd
moment. What are
perfect.
you
moment.
It
talking
is a
about?
crowd moment.
That's her uniform, bro. What are you
No, I
talking
love that it
about?
fully embraces like ridiculousness.
It,
That's
that was
all
the
these
most
things made
ridiculous
me
part of the
feel
movie.
like Evil Dead 2. You know, like taking the things that people made fun of and just being like, okay, yeah, we'll do the comedic version now.
Yeah.
That
I
was
mean, and this is
the most
after they
ridiculous.
had what's his face just snorting cocaine from a box, going crazy in the hospital, exploding, and then they get kidnapped.
Oh, that was Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Kevin
Shout out
Durant.
another lost cast member,
Yep.
which I think I mentioned last week when we were previewing this. Maybe.
Um,
I don't know.
The only
That might
thing
have
I
been
can
in a
think
text.
about when I see him is just Kevin Durant. Like, how unfortunate.
You think of like the 6'11"
No,
NBA player?
not like I'm not mistaking them. I'm just thinking like his name is so similar.
Oh,
It
People must
is
think Kevin Durant is showing up, and it's just Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durand, who
But
did a great mocap role in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
that's true.
is he one of the apes?
He was the villain. He was the Ape King.
Oh, he was that guy.
I watched a great BTS video about how he developed the voice for that character and then how he like embodied the physicality of the ape. It was really cool. You should check it
Hmm.
out.
I think I saw that too, actually.
Um,
I'm not
I
sure
would have
what it
liked to have
is.
seen more of him. I think he's a great character actor. He was kind of put out of the mix very quickly in this one when he
Well,
exploded at the
so,
hospital.
I always want to see David Cronenberg, but we can't always get what we want, okay?
You wanted to see David Cronenberg behind the camera for this. You didn't want to see him act.
No, I always like to see him because he has so much fun. He's talked about this. Like he directs horror movies and his greatest like want, his lust is to be one of those people that dies in front of his camera.
Well, he got smothered in this
He
movie
did.
He did. You
by his
guys should look
kids.
up Jason X, his death scene in Jason X. He just shows up and he's like, "Oh, Jason, yes. This is a fantastic science project." And he dies. And it's hilarious. I
Okay.
can't describe it. Just watch it. I'm not even sure if I have anything else to add to this movie. Like, this is
Yeah,
such
I
an
A lot of fun.
experience.
I did not expect to enjoy these movies as much as I did. I think I went
Mhm.
4 stars for both of them.
Ooh.
Um,
That's why I really wanted you to watch them because I felt like you could enjoy these because they're like
yeah,
horror movies, but they're more like comedic horror movies.
and that works for me. That style of comedy really
And
works for
if you
me.
want another one, I watched this recently. I think you would love it. Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Tucker and Dale
It's
versus
got Alan
Evil.
Tudyk in it.
Love him.
It's a bunch of hillbillies, and they're just sort of living their life, and then a bunch of people get into catastrophic incidents,
Tucker and Dale
and they
versus
just keep
Evil,
dying.
2010, directed by Eli Craig. Oh, it's Tyler Labine and Alan Tudyk, and Katrina Bowden's in it. That's cool.
It's great. It's
She
very
was on
funny.
30 Rock. That's a good top three in the cast.
There are so many
And it's
movies like this that
streaming,
I
and
think
it's only 90
you should
minutes.
watch. Hey, there you go. Comedy horror
Um,
is one of my favorites. Um,
I'm getting more into it. That's how I've
Evil Dead
gotten
2,
more
Evil
into
Dead
horror.
1, as I said, was like straight horror. Maybe you can watch it, but Evil Dead 2 is the comedic version, and
You
Army of
know I've
Darkness
put up with
is
horror movies before.
just watch that trilogy because it's hilarious. And also to see the progression of like kind of really horrifying stuff to, oh my God, it's Bruce Campbell with a chainsaw hand in Camelot. I mean, you can't compare it. I'm not even joking.
Okay,
I'm
now I'm
George is
intrigued.
super interested now.
not even
Yeah.
joking.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite genres. I love horror movies, but comedy horror is, I love it. It's perfect because a lot of people can enjoy it. And you get to have these special effects where people are just blowing up with, blood splattering everywhere, which is always fun.
Yeah. This movie that we did this week, much less horror than the first movie, but still a lot of fun.
Yep.
Both of them
Yeah.
are very fun.
Yeah, I highly
And
recommend
I would
both of
watch a
them.
third one.
Yeah, I would
I
too.
would too.
Yep.
And I hope that
Bring
they go back to Camelot and do the
bring
same thing.
bring back my only stipulation for a third Ready or Not movie is that they bring back Elijah Wood and let him be that little satanic freak that he was in this movie, just so much more.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, he was
Let him go
good.
all
He was a
out.
lot of fun. It'd be interesting to see how they like escalate it though, because it,
Yeah,
Considering
kind
most of
of
the
like
top of the cult died,
yes,
I think they have to go to hell and play Mr.
or that. Yeah,
LaBelle's
instead of going
or
to
game
that,
Camelot, just go
yeah,
straight to
just go
hell.
crazy. Yeah. I
That
mean, it
is
doesn't even
Mr.
actually
really
what
need
they
to
LaBelle
need
make
to do.
against
sense.
Mr. LaBelle.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to make
Look,
sense.
logic
Just do
is
it.
not present in Sam Raimi's
We have
Yeah,
movies, in that
seen
trilogy at least.
we have
It's
seen
who
people
cares?
spontaneously combust like blood balloons. I think we
yes,
can throw out logic in these movies.
Well,
yeah,
it's because they made a deal, though. This
yeah.
is a
That's
legal
a.
thing, right, Max?
It is. It's there's some statute
A
out there. I'll
standard
go find it.
Standard
satanic
legal
contract law.
statute.
Satanic contract law.
I mean,
You learn
yes,
about
that's
this.
exactly, yeah, that's what it would
Was
be.
that an L2 or L3?
Uh, no, that would be 1L. Contracts was 1L, so we learned about that first year.
But
They had
satanic contracts.
no. I
Deals
know.
with the devil?
That's
Yeah,
it's like the same thing, you know?
1L. It's the same thing.
You keep playing games with the devil, and one day he's going to play games with you at your house, or whatever the line in Sinners was.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely that.
It was about playing
I'm gonna
hide and
quote
seek.
that. It's gonna
You
play
keep
games
dancing with the
with you
devil.
at your house.
You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's going to follow you home. See, I do know the line.
There you
Yeah.
go.
But
It's
one
gonna
day he's
keep
going to play.
playing games.
I like one day he's going to play games at your house better.
It's kind of one of those lines that feels like it's from like a satire of
It
Sinners.
sounds like it'd be a line from Scary Movie,
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
scary movie version of Sinners.
which they're spoofing actually in the new one. So
I believe it.
yeah.
And then he's playing games and it's like
Also,
Connect Four or some shit.
also feels like Jack O'Connell could do Scary Movie and be just as good as he was in Sinners.
I'm sure he could, but
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know if it works to cast the same person. I think it works in rare
Probably wouldn't.
circumstances. Just because they've
In a
already done the
different in a
performance.
different type of role. Like he would crush one of those movies as a different type of character.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I thought you were saying like to play like
No,
a
if he was going to
satire
play
version.
Remick again, but just in a satire version, I don't think it would work as well.
Yeah.
No.
No, I'm sure anybody that's a talented actor, Scary Movie is not like, critically acclaimed stuff. A lot of his Marlon Wayans like making jokes and then getting comedic people to like riff on them.
Yeah.
So really, it's if you're a good comedian. That's kind of the borderline for that.
Got to be able to riff though. You can be a good comedian and be terrible at riffing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Well, you could be a good comedic writer. You can't be like a good stand-up comic, I feel like, if you
Yeah.
can't riff at all.
If you have that improvisational skill, you can.
Yeah.
Even if it's to any degree, if you're going up and being a decent stand-up comic, I don't see how you could do it without being able to do that. Because you
Yeah.
always have to like adapt to the audience and things like that.
So, Ready or Not is streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus. Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Sorry, Benny or Not 2, Growth Here I Come is currently playing in movie theaters. Check it out. We all recommend it. Watch both of them back to back if you can, because, like Max said way back at the beginning of the episode, one picks up or two picks up right after one. There's overlap. The first scene of two is the last scene of one. And Grace just wants a fucking cigarette.
Yep.
So,
Understandable.
Yeah.
yeah, she deserves one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she deserves like an
It's
entire
well earned.
pack after that shit.
Maybe Mr. LaBelle can give her a light
I'm sure he would.
or
Seems
Elijah
like an
Wood.
honorable gent, as I said.
Yeah,
He
he just
obeys the
wants people to
rules.
follow the rules. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stickler, you know?
Check out these two movies. We recommend them. We will see you for another new episode next week. We're going to finish this Zoom call right now and hash out what exactly it is we're doing. So, watch some good movies, support local movie theaters, ban AI in filmmaking. Those are the three things I always say. So, uh, good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.